time to paint this week because the monkeys have been on spring break. But I wanted to try and sit down and do something cute and fun for Easter.
So that's what I'm going to do today. It's kind of a lot of ideas. I'm just going to kind of mush them together and see what happens. Yeah, so.
I'm using Mehron's palette A for all of the paints that I use in this video. Starting with the black. I'm going in to make a half circle on my face. Didn't quite work, so I fixed it myself. Just hand drew it in. And now I'm going in with black eyeshadow and shading all along the line and away from the line, pulling it away from the line. And then I'm going in with a white eyeshadow and highlighting all of the inside of the line. Putting a little bit of a coral color in on my cheeks before I put anything else down on them. Now I am drawing in the numbers on the clock. And I'm not very good at writing letters or numbers, so I did my best, did it very quickly. This was my reference photo, just an old clock. Now that I got that done, woohoo, it was a little stressful, I'm going in and adding the hands of the clock. I'm just copying the hands that were on the clock in my reference photo and putting them in a place that feels comfortable. I didn't take it all the way to my eyelash line yet because I tend to smudge it if I do that kind of stuff too early. So I will go and finish connecting the hands to the eyelash line at the end. And if you guys hear any strange noises on this recording, it's because I have 50-pound pigeons that live on my back patio, and they live on the overhang, and they're bouncing around back there right now, and I'm in the room next to it, and you know, no peace, just no peace. Alright, now I'm going in and creating some fun eyeshadow. I went with a red color. It kind of looks a bit orangey, and at first I didn't like it, but I added some of the Urban Decay, the orange from the electric palette in there, and that kind of made it more of a red color. This was my reference photo. One of them I was working with. I like this one. I'm going to go in and paint my version of this little guy's jacket. So I took the blue from the Mehron palette, and I really like it. It goes on really well in one coat. So yeah, this is me kind of outlining where I'm going to take this jacket. And I'm not naked, I promise. See, there was a tube top down there. There, now you can see what I'm doing. So go in real quick, make a layer. It always takes more than one coat, but what was really nice about these paints is it only took me 2 coats to get a nice solid color on there. Painting myself. My lovely assistant in this part is Masha. She's my niece. She came in to help powder me. I think I was a little strange from trying to paint myself blue, and she came and helped me out for a second. Alright, so I'm just going in and touching up a couple areas that I could still see through a little bit. So this is my second coat, so that first coat really did a good job of covering it all for me. If you get the right consistency with the paint, you can probably do it in one coat. I do powder between coats because then it helps keep the paint from moving around on my first coat while I'm adding my second coat. Now I'm going in because I didn't like that my eye makeup wasn't red. I wanted it more red. So I went in with, I'm going to call it an eyeliner because you're not supposed to use the red paint that close to your eye. So use a red eyeliner. I drew a little bit of a winged liner out from underneath my eye. Now I'm blending the red eyeliner with a red shadow and smoothing it all out. And then I'm going in with a white and blending it further to the outside of where the red shadow is. Going underneath the eye with a little bit of black powder, black eyeshadow, and darkening up the lashes. It's very messy when I paint. Now I'm deepening the shadow on my cheekbone underneath the clock and adding it to the other side as well. Just make sure you blend it really well. I started with the black. I go in later with the brown and change it up. Here I'm adding my bunny nose, and I'm just taking the pink from the Marron palette and painting the bottom portion of my nose. Now I'm going in with the black powder, black shadow, and I'm just shadowing the very edge of the nose, and I blend it very well. Blend, 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 blend. Now I'm making my little bunny lip with the white paint. And I'm smudging and blending the edge, and I just blend it till there is no edge, and it fades into my natural skin color. Here I'm adding a line that separates the rabbit's lip with a little black eyeshadow. And I continue to go around and shade and blend a little bit more on my rabbit's pink nose there. Now I'm adding in the teeth. I decided to bring these down to a point. I wasn't sure if I was going to have any blood dripping off of them or anything. I'm just using the white paint and bringing those teeth down off of my bottom lip. Now I'm going in with black paint and lightly lining the teeth and drawing the line between them. And then I'm shading very lightly around my muzzle. Here I'm adding in a furrowed brow, make it look a little more sinister. And then I kind of find my natural wrinkles and fill those in a little. Now I'm contouring my nose. Now I'm lining the entire edge of my jacket all the way around, and for some reason my hands were not cooperating with me. My details and my lines were not the best today. Now I'm taking a fine brush and I'm going to go and draw some little details. Mine didn't come out quite how I wanted them, but you can, any little designs that you want to look like embroidery on the jacket. And just different squiggles and dots and stars. Sorry if you can hear children screaming in the background. My kids are home, like I said, and I'm lucky they're staying out of the room right now. So you can see I went through and added those details all along the edge of the jacket. Now I'm attempting to make a checkerboard pattern on my neck. I've never done this before. There's probably an easier way to do it, but this is how I roll. I do not plan, and you should plan. It would make your work a lot easier. So I'm just going in and cross-hatching my neck with white first. Now I'm filling in all the squares that I want white. All of the squares I want white. There was a lot of squares here. And for some reason I started the black without recording, but anyways, now I'm filling in the black. I started with about an inch brush, but it was too big and I had to go in with a smaller one because not all the squares were that big.
I use this for my drop.
Come here, come closer. Say hello to the camera. Stand up on your tippy toes. It's my 4-year-old. She's asking me if she can use a Sharpie. So you want to look right there. Now say goodbye, camera.
Okay, now back to work here. Got all the squares filled in, and now I'm taking a black eyeshadow and I'm shading all along the edge of my material, making it look like it's not painted on my skin. And then I'm going in with the same black eyeshadow and I'm filling in my lash line, just darkening it up a little bit, not too much. And now I'm going to use a fine brush with black paint and finish off my clock hands and connect them all the way to my lash line. Alright, now I'm shading in my material, just finding areas I feel like there would be a shaded area, any folds, anywhere where the material meets the skin or meets each other, right along the jacket area to make it look like it's lifting up off of the checkered print. Now I'm going to go and shade all along my jawline where the checkered print comes up to the top of my neck, just to blend it and make it look okay in case you can see it. Now I'm shading all along the top of my shoulders with a bigger brush. Blend the cheekbones up a bit more. Never be too smooth. Here I'm adding just tiny little light whiskers with a very dry brush, just a tiny bit of paint on it. And after a zillion, no less, but a zillion interruptions, I have finished.